What's up guys, Scully here from the Blue Coconut family and welcome back to another City Skylines tutorial. So today we're going to be continuing our look at the Industrials DLC. Now if you've watched my previous episodes and my tutorials, then you know that we've already got the 4 areas of our industry, so our production areas. So we have our farm downhill in Fairview, also our production area of the farm in Cherry Grove. We've got our oil fields over here in Rosewood. We've got our ore mining facility here in Concord, and we've got our Hamilton logging area for our wood. Now one thing I've done in between episodes, simply because I didn't want to touch on it in an episode because I didn't feel it was that necessary, was I've just added some freight terminals for trains near these various areas so that the trucks aren't clogging up the main highway here too much, and so that trains can then gets to where we're going to next. So today we're going to be looking at warehouses, and some of you might be like, well, what's the point of a warehouse? Now of course, let's say a little shop over here somewhere. This one, no, there's a residence. Let me find a shop. There you go, this fashion shop for example. That's a really odd choice. This fashion shop needs animal products for leather for example, or needs something. Now it'll put a little call out which will then send a truck over. Now it might be that this truck there isn't any animal products because they're being exported at the moment, or it's going somewhere else. It can't keep up with demand, so you need somewhere to store it until it's used. You might also want to have a storage area for them, for if you need money grab in the later game. If you start running out of money, you can export it, so you can set that storage area to be empty and it gets rid of it as quickly as possible. You get a nice little cash boost. Or the last possibility that you might need them for, and it's the most likely, is that you're going to be building a mega factory. Now I touched on those in the previous episodes, and we're going to be looking at those in the next episode, and this is what the setup is going to be for when I do that, because that's what I'm using my warehouses for. Now I built this industrial area here quite early on in this game. In another tutorial you can go back and watch that. Now I don't actually technically need it anymore. Yes, it produces all the little goods for my city and stuff, but we're going to be producing that anyway. And I've got my 4 big industry areas here, so I don't really need this big industry bit here. So I'm going to remove here, and already, luckily, I've got my train cargo terminal here, and it's got a train connection to the main line which goes up to my areas here. Now I haven't set a train cargo terminal here because it's not that far for it to go for the tractors and stuff to deliver some goods. So what we're going to do is we're going to just remove the area here like so. Just going to remove these ones as well, just so they're not blocking the area. And that's going to, of course, then remove all the little bits in there. And we might have to do a bit of alteration of the goods and roads in here, but that's okay, we can come back to do that. Now, of course, warehouses and stuff. So I'm thinking I'm going to have my main production area here, and even I might expand it into this empty area here already, with it some flowing down to the coastline. But this bit is going to be my warehouses and my long-term storage. So what you do is you come to your industries tab, your garbage and industry, which is now the factory, and you go along to this second to last one, which is warehouses. And you've got 4 types. So you've got a warehouse yard, which just basically is a small little yard just to put some containers in. Just place that down. Then you've got a small warehouse, which once again just holds a small amount of stuff like that. You got a medium warehouse, which of course is slightly larger, and then of course you got your large warehouse, which is fucking enormous. And we're going to build a couple of those, I think, like that. And let's fill the rest of the area in some of our large warehouses here. Oh, space 2 already occupied. Not sure. Slope too steep. Slope too steep, I was supposed to say. Oh, it's already occupied because there's a shelter there. Of course there is. Slope too steep. That's okay. And I'm going to fill that area with some yards, I think. Can we get away with one of the small one? We can. And in this, we're going to do a small one. Yeah. And we'll do some yards. Can't do any there. No, run out of room. Oh, we can fit one in there. Perfect. So we've got some areas. Now, we got two large factories, and if you open up a factory, you got two boxes. Now, the first one we should be familiar with. This is our storage mode, and this is where you have balance. So it tries to store about 50-50. So it's storing as much as it's getting rid of, and so you get a nice balance of storage area. That's okay for now. We can keep that like that. Stored resources. Now, this is where you select what is it holding. Now, as well as holding individual items if you're doing a factory or unique factory products, this is also where you can also specify at the bottom what type. So forestry products, farming products, oil products, or just general goods. Now, I think in this one we're going to store our let's do our forestry products, and then in this one I'm going to create another road out here and have two more large factories. So that was let's do that one. So this is forestry, this is our farming products, and let's get another road somewhere. Let's go across here and we'll build some more large warehouses. Or actually, let's be bold. Yep, I'm going to be bold on this one. So we're going to do large warehouse here, large warehouse there. So we've got our large warehouse, we've got our forestry, our farming, this one is going to be our ore, and this one's going to be our oil. So this so that holds just the generic oil products. So that isn't the produced areas, so you know it basically acts like a bigger version of this. Okay, now if that's what you want, you can. Now we've got our 4 areas of that. I'm not too sure. Okay, so let's actually define these. So I think in this one you are set to forestry, so you are going to be paper, because paper goes in quite a few things. Empty in previous resources, that's okay. You are going to be, so you're farming, so animal products, I think. That's okay. You are going to be, so your metal, so let's go for you to be plastic. No, your ore, so metal, sand, metals. And then you can be, so your ore, so let's go for you to be plastics. And then the smaller ones, so we've got a couple of smaller ones around. Yes, so you, I'm going to stick you to be flour. Balanced. And you are going to be, let's stick you to be glass and petroleum, why not? So there's some of the areas. Now I've missed out a couple there, but that's fine. Warehouses are great because it'd be a case of you can just build them on later and you can just restore all the resources. Yeah, so that's my rough area. Now what we're going to do with this in the next episode is we're going to be looking at how you can transform these warehouses, which are going to store tons of product. You can see that they do store loads. I actually didn't go into how much they store. So the large one is 750,000. The medium one is 400,000. The small one is 250,000, and the little yard is 100,000. So they do store quite a considerable amount of product. And what we're going to be doing with those is in the next episode we're going to be storing up all the items we want, building a mega factory somewhere here, and we're going to then change these to be the sort of product that that factory requires, and then that acts as a middleman, so we can import from our industry areas the products that we need. So for example, let's say we need plastic, meat products, and some paper, for example. We would store, meat products, paper, and plastics across here, and then have a factory here. So it acts as an area for us to store it temporarily until it goes into factory, so it helps the factory going and producing it very quickly. Then we'll set the last one to be the warehouse that holds that product from that factory, so then it can be shipped out ready for our city to use. So yeah, that's been nice and simple. Yeah, anyway, hope this has been useful for you guys. Of course, if it has, hit that like button, other people will find it. And yeah, hit the subscribe button, you'll be the first person to know when my next factory episode comes out, or any other of my videos. And yeah, I've been Scotty from Blue Coconut Family, and I'll see you next time. Bye!